So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to lecture number 1 from the category of Miscellaneous in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay 2026. You all know this by now that this lecture series is specifically catering to your prelims examination this time. We'll cover all the important current affairs, we'll cover all the associated static topics as well. Because static topics which have some connection with current affairs have a higher chance of featuring in your prelims examination. So we will revise everything. And for this revision, you just have to spend just 1 hour of your day. You just have to spend 1 hour of your day from now till your prelims examination and everything would be revised. You don't have to worry about your revision at all. Just 1 hour, provided you begin now. Okay then. Now, as you all know that in this lecture series, in this Prelims Powerplay lecture series, we have divided the entire syllabus into 3 phases. Okay, we are almost done with phase 1. There are 3 phases. In phase 1, we covered all the important current affairs with respect to polity, economics, history. Yes, history also had some current affairs, geography, environment, science and tech, right? And now we'll be covering some miscellaneous current affairs that can have some MCQs from them in your prelims examination. So phase 1 is about to get over. By the way, those of you who are a little late to this party, who are a little late to Prelims Powerplay, don't worry about it. You just have to join this lecture series now, continue with the schedule from now. And as far as your previous lectures are concerned, I will give you a very good strategy to cover all your previous lectures as well, along with the upcoming lectures. So don't worry. If you want to cover and if you want to clear your prelims examination, join now. All right. The details for registration are given in the comment section below. So if you want to join, well, just click on the links given below in the comment section. All right. Now, as you all know that we are in phase 1 and this is the miscellaneous phase, miscellaneous current affairs news items. Now, today's lecture is all about Nobel Prizes. Okay. In the previous lecture, when with respect to science and technology, we did talk about Nobel Prize in health, physiology or medicine. Today we are going to talk about everything related to Nobel Prizes. Okay. When were they started? In which categories are these Nobel Prizes given? Who gives these Nobel Prizes? What is the prize money? Are there any Indians who have received Nobel Prizes? All these details would be given in today's lecture, today's topic called Nobel Prizes. Okay, so pay close attention. It will be a short and crisp lecture. Nonetheless, an MCQ can be asked in your prelims examination from this. So pay close attention. All right, and let's begin. So miscellaneous, number 1, Nobel Prizes. So you all know about Nobel Prizes. You must have heard about Nobel Prize in the field of literature, Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Prize in physics, chemistry, medicine, and then there is economics Nobel Prize also. So we'll talk about the origin and history of these Nobel Prizes first. Okay, when were they started? So origin and history. First of all, what are Nobel Prizes? So Nobel Prize is an international set of awards given annually in 6 fields to individuals and institutions whose work has conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. Okay, so this is a set of prize to people whose work, whose contribution has enhanced humanity. Okay, now these prizes were basically instituted by Alfred Nobel. Okay, that is why they are called Nobel Prizes. Now, Alfred Nobel was a Swedish inventor. He was an inventor and he earned a lot of money also because of his inventions. In fact, he is credited with inventing dynamite, the explosive used in mining and all. Now, this Swedish inventor, Alfred Nobel, well, when he basically wrote a will as to how his property will be distributed when he dies. As per his will, he said that the money from his property will be used to give prizes to people in 5 categories. Okay, so the Nobel Prizes were created as per the last will of Alfred Nobel, signed on 27 November 1895 at the Swedish Norwegian Club in Paris. Okay, he basically said Nobel bequeathed or he said 94% of his estate, which was about 31 million Swedish kroner. Kroner is the currency of Sweden. To establish prizes in physics, chemistry, physiology, or medicine, literature, and peace. So basically, he said 94% of his property will be used to give prizes to people in these 5 categories: physics, chemistry, physiology or medicine, literature, and peace. Okay, and this would be given annually. Now, the fascinating thing is, when he wrote this will, his family members were not happy with this, because his family members lost 94% of their property. So they lost a lot of cases also, okay, against this will. They ultimately lost, but this entire legal battle took another 5-6 years. So he wrote this in 1895, but the first Nobel Prize, as per Alfred Nobel's will, was delivered in 1901 on his anniversary. Okay. So remember this, he wrote his will in 1895, but family members disputed this, so the legal battle went on. But due to legal disputes and opposition from family, the Nobel Foundation statutes were approved only in 1900, and the first prize was given in 1901. And since 1901, well, these 5 prizes have been awarded annually. One in physics, chemistry, physiology, medicine, literature, peace. Okay. Now, some key facts about this prize. You should know this because slight or very detailed MCQs can be asked from this. Okay. So, key facts. Number 1, well, the original fields were physics as per Alfred Nobel. What Alfred Nobel thought was that he will give prizes in physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, or peace. Okay. But later in 1968, another category was added way after the death of Alfred Nobel, and that was for economics as well. So in 1968, Sveriges Riksbank. Now, Sveriges Riksbank is basically Central Bank of Sweden. What do you mean by central bank? Like RBI. RBI in India is India's central bank. Similarly, Sveriges Riksbank is Sweden's RBI. Okay. So in 1968, Sveriges Riksbank created the prize in economic sciences in the memory of Alfred Nobel. So this 6th prize was created. It was not intended by Alfred Nobel, but it was created and added to this list of Nobel Prizes. So remember this. The original Nobel Prizes are these 5 prizes. Economics was added later. Okay. Now, each Nobel Prize consists of a medal, a diploma, and a cash award, which is around 1 million US dollars. Okay. So, if one person is receiving Nobel Prize, he or she will be given 1 million US dollars. If 3 people or 2 people, then this amount will be shared. Okay. Now, this entire, I'm so sorry about this. This entire money, 1 million USD for every Nobel Prize. Well, it comes from Nobel Foundation's invested capital. Remember, Alfred Nobel basically gave 94% of his property. That 94% of his property was invested, and the income generated from that investment is being used to give these prizes. Okay? Now, questions can be asked with respect to, some details are important. Questions can be asked with respect to awarding bodies. Like physics prize is awarded by which entity, literature is awarded by which entity. All these things can be asked. Okay. So physics, chemistry and economics is awarded by Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. For medicine, the award is given by Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institute. For literature, Swedish Academy gives the prize, and for peace, well, it's the Norwegian Nobel Committee. And remember, all prizes are given in Stockholm, Sweden, except Nobel Peace Prize, which is given in Oslo, Norway. Basically, Norway and Sweden are the ones responsible for giving these prizes. Economic Sciences Prize is funded by Sweden's central bank, Sveriges Riksbank. Okay. The other 5 prizes are funded by, well, his will, Alfred Nobel's will. The 6th Economics Prize is funded by the Central Bank of Sweden. Just remember these facts. Now, let's talk about the prizes, Nobel Prizes for 2025. So as far as physiology is concerned, we have discussed this in detail, okay? But for physics, chemistry, literature, peace and economic sciences, well, it is given in your notes. You don't need any further information, okay? For what reason was physics prize was given, it is given in your notes. Just read that, remember that, and no further information is required, okay? So this table is shared in your notes. One more thing is important, and that is because UPSC can ask questions with respect to that. Are there any Indians who have received this prize? Well, of course there are. Who are these Indians? Okay, Indian Nobel laureates. So Rabindranath Tagore, he received Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his work called Gitanjali. Okay, then C.V. Raman, India's physicist, apex physicist, received it for physics. He discovered Raman effect, photoelectric effect basically. Then Mother Teresa received Nobel Peace Prize. Then Amartya Sen received Nobel Prize for Economics. And Kailash Satyarthi, the latest Indian to receive Nobel Prize, Peace Prize, along with Malala Yousafzai of Pakistan in 2014. Okay, so these 5 people, 5 Indians have received Nobel Prize. Okay, different categories of Nobel Prize. But there are many Indians who were foreign citizens. For example, Kailash Satyarthi, Amartya Sen, Rabindranath Tagore, they were Indian citizens. But there are many Indians who are living in USA, Australia, Canada, and they are citizens of those countries. Have those people, those Indians who are foreign citizens, have received any prizes? Yes, there are. So Indian origin Nobel laureates. So Hargobind Khurana, okay, for medicine, he was US citizen. Then Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, he was a US citizen for physics in 1983. Then Venkatraman Ramakrishnan for chemistry. Abhijit Banerjee for economics, the recent one, but he is an American citizen. Okay, Esther Duflo, his wife, and Abhijit Banerjee received this prize. So this is the thing. That's all information you need as far as Nobel Prizes are concerned. Most of the information or some extra information would be given in your notes. Now your job is to memorize the notes. Okay, it's very important for you to memorize. Then you all are enrolled in our WhatsApp groups. Ask your doubts over there. It's very important. If you have any question, okay, any question whatsoever, those questions can be from previous lectures as well. Any question, ask your questions over there. We are eagerly waiting for your doubts. And, well, be regular with the test, because along with this lecture series, you're also getting a test series. Be regular with that test series. All right. So yeah, that would be all as far as lecture number 1 from miscellaneous category is concerned. Well, I'll see you tomorrow with another topic in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay. Thank you, everyone.